Welcome back. How do you feel?
Oh, good. Wow. Who knew? Who knew I had an old man hanging in my hips?
Right. That explains all your feeling, which could be connected to feeling like you don't feel like yourself, feeling detached from your body a bit.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Let me turn on the light.
So
That was so good.
how long do you think you were under?
Like an hour?
About 2 hours.
Yeah. Because it's dark out now. Like when you were counting, like, okay, from 1 to 5, I suddenly realized, oh, it feels, yeah, it's dark outside. So it must be way later than I thought it was.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Do you remember much? Do you think you remember everything?
No.
All right, let's see. Do you remember Lisa?
No.
Lisa, that was one of your past lives. You're a 10-year-old girl in England in 1870. Do you remember any of that?
There was something with an apple, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happened was you had a twin brother. You guys were playing in the garden.
Yeah.
And you started playing tag, but when you were eating the apple and you started running after him and you tripped and started choking on an apple, and you didn't survive, and there was some issues there that basically was connected with you being your anxiety and your breathing issues.
Yeah. No, I just remember something with an apple.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can breathe really well right now, so.
Great. So
Yeah.
what about before that, the life as Lisa, the purpose of that life was to remind you that life sometimes is short and unpredictable. Unpredictable when things happen. So, yeah, that was interesting. What about Frank? Do you remember Frank?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, he was an elderly man and parents who, what sounds like he maybe had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Right. And
did I say that?
you didn't say it, but you said that he was losing his memory.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
And I guess she felt lonely because the daughter didn't visit as much as you wanted her to. And she felt bad because she wanted to visit, but wasn't able to. Let me back up. Your life as Lisa, the little girl, your friend Celine was your twin brother in that lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. And also as the life as Frank, the grandson Noy is your best friend Julia's son Nino, Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? His second name is Noe.
Noi.
Yeah. So my best friend's son is called Nino Noe.
Oh, wow.
And that's the name, right? That you said.
Yeah, that's interesting. Nino Noi. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
That's amazing. And so he was a painter, and the lesson from that life is that um, that to know that he's loved even when he can't see it.
Mm.
And he didn't learn that lesson in life. He gave up.
Mm.
He gave up. Um, what about Emma? Do you remember Emma?
Yeah.
What do you remember about Emma?
She was the mom
Mm-hmm.
with the little baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then she left and she kind of built her own life. Something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's in the 1920s in the Netherlands, and her her significant other left when she was 8 months pregnant, and pretty much left her. I guess so. From what it sounds like, he maybe had a drinking problem, and he would leave and come back and leave. And the last time he left, she didn't accept him back. So, but it looks like you did meet someone else. You moved along and got another place, and you met someone else once you learned to trust yourself. That was a big lesson in life, to learn to trust yourself and make your own decisions. Ed, the child Ed in that life, is your brother. Remember that?
Yeah, my younger brother, right?
Right. Fabrice. Fabrice, I think
Yeah.
I'm saying it right. Yeah. Yeah. And so we also, when we spoke to the higher self, we found a few attachments. You remember that?
The one in the hips, yeah.
What about the other one? Do you remember the other one?
Something in my jaw.
In your jaw. Mm-hmm. In your jaw and your temples.
Or in my head, yeah.
Your jaw and temples. That was Dahlia.
Yeah.
So it looks like they, from past life, instead of them going to the light, they stayed attached to you. They didn't go to the light, they just attached to you. Dahlia felt, you remember what Dahlia said, why she never know why she didn't go to the light?
Something about protecting or something.
Yeah, she felt she needed to protect you.
Mm.
Because in the other life, as Emma, she felt like, you couldn't make responsible decisions for yourself, and she needs to be there to help you make decisions. So
that's intense.
Yeah. So we had to assist her in moving out.
Yeah.
She went lovingly. And the same with Frank. He just wanted to feel alive again. He wanted to feel like he could move.
Oh, Frank.
Right? That's
good old Frank.
Right. But he apologized and said, "I'm sorry."
Oh. Yeah, I understand, Frank.
And so, based on what your higher self said, though, that's the reason they had to have the session today, to remove those entities, because those needed to be removed because they were causing you issues that would be able to move freely, etc.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And so when I asked them what's holding you back from being fully yourself, do you remember what was said?
The attachments, right?
Attachments were
yeah.
holding, yeah, and that you'll be okay now.
Oh, great. Yay! Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So how do you feel overall?
I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel lighter.
Feel lighter. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yay!
You heard my daughter in the background. They could have come at a better time. That could not have come at a better.
She thinks
That was a sign. That was a sign from the universe. Yes, definitely. Everything's gonna be perfect now. Right?
Great. So cute.
Yes, awesome.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing this work? Is this something?
For a few months now.
Oh, wow. So not that long.
No.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you find this or get into this?
I've basically always been attracted to this type of work from years ago, but didn't listen and went elsewhere, and then found myself back in the same space.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's amazing. I feel great doing it. I feel great being able to assist in this way.
Yeah.
And it's indescribable.
Yeah.
So I thank you for allowing me to be able to witness and guide you.
Yeah, it was so, yeah, it felt really, your voice is very soothing.
Okay.
Like it's very warm. You feel like you're in like a big hug.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So overall, is this something that you would recommend to someone else?
Yeah. It was very, I'm really surprised that it's been like, what, 2 hours or 3 hours? I'm like, and also when you were counting in the beginning, I
Mm-hmm.
was so relaxed. Yeah. It's almost like I couldn't feel my body. I was really like, yeah, it was very relaxing. And that's amazing. With like all these stories, it resonates so much with kind of where I'm at, and it makes so much sense. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like it must be so individual what comes up for people.
It
Like,
is.
and kind of, it's interesting how these stories came up, but they also kind of tied in with the questions I have asked. So it's really interesting how it kind of explained
Because your
some of
higher
those
self
things.
always knows what the issue is and what you need to know, and it'll always take you where it needs to take you. You know, I can't guide you to a specific place. Your higher self knows what you need to see and what you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would definitely recommend that. That's amazing.